Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, J.I. Colorist. You guessed it, my name is Jody, and today we are continuing our series. We are getting close to the end. We are looking at my inventory of adult coloring books and taking a quick look at the pages that I have colored in them and the books that I have. And the idea is, if you see any of these books that you also might have, or it might remind you that you have them, then go ahead and let me know if you would like to buddy color in any of them. Some of these are getting a little bit old because I have been coloring since 2016. So we're coming up to 10 years next year, which is quite a while. And today we are going to be doing large size books. So books that are like 8.5 by 11 or a little bit larger. So that's what I'm categorizing all of these as. They are one-off type books. They don't really have any other place, and I kind of have them all together because they are of the same size. So that's what we're going to do today. So there, like I mentioned, there are 13 books. Let's just get going on them, and I will tell you if I can remember where I bought them. Some of these I bought at Barnes & Noble from the United States, or Borders, back when there was a bookstore called Borders, a long time ago. So this one is called Paisley's, Colored for Everyone, and it is Sky Horse Publishing, and it was copyright in 2015. So this one is one of my first coloring books when I was looking for coloring books, and I was just kind of picking all kinds of different things at that time. So what this book is at the beginning there are some explanations of how the Paisley came about and different things like that, where it's found, and some different examples of Paisleys. And then some of the pictures that are actually in the book, they are colored images here. So if you wanted to follow along, you could, and they are numbered, so you could go to that page. So it's not a color by number, but I guess you could use this all as inspiration. So that is what I'll show you, the colored ones. And then we'll look at the ones that I have colored myself. So this one here, and I actually quite like it, and it's still quite shiny. It's got a lot of, let me just add another light here. There you go. It has quite a bit of shine to it, and that's from glitter gel pens. And those are probably the Color It gel pens from way long ago, because this is from October 1st, 2017. So very new to coloring back then. And then this one here, and this is done in all colored pencil, where this one was done with colored pencil and glitter gel pen. And then this looks just like glitter gel pen and nothing else, so lots of shine there. And here I was just having some fun. I didn't finish this page. I worked on it for a while and then decided that was enough. And I was using some neon colors. And then there's this page here, done in February of 2022. And by this time I had started the, oh my goodness, we can't leave a background without something on it. So it looks like I used a stencil and some ink and did a background. So might be harder for you to see that, but it's light blue kind of marbled background. And then this is done in alcohol markers, and that's it. So the rest of the book, they're all single-sided. They do have numbers on the back of the page, which is kind of different, but yeah, I mean, if you like mandalas or that kind of thing, I really haven't gone back to this book in quite some time. So yeah, so this is Paisley Coloring for Everyone. The next book, I'll tilt it so it's not shiny, is Excellent Eggs Adult Coloring Book by Colette Fergus. And I collect eggs, which might be odd and unusual, but I actually do. In fact, I have one couple sitting right here in my office. So here is one that I have, but I have all kinds of different ones, stone ones, wooden ones, glass ones. So anyways, so an egg coloring book might seem strange to some, but totally is my kind of thing. So, and this is Colette, as I said, Fergus, and she's from New Zealand, I believe. And I did this in 2019 with polychromos and gel pens. And I really like this one because it actually does look like an eggshell, the colors and stuff. So kind of cool. And I usually color this, you guessed it, at Easter time. So this is 2019. And again, 2019. And this one has some background on it and some gel pen. And this one's pretty glitzy. This is 2023. So clearly Jody has learned how to use stickles and gold paint by now. And sponging on the bottom. So it's kind of fun to see how my coloring style and the integration of mixed media has come in. So here we go, 2025. So again, we've got stickles and different markers and mediums. And then this is iridescent gelato in the background. So that was 2025. So that's this year. That's kind of fun. 2019. So here's the difference. This is Jody in 2019. Here's Jody now. So that's kind of fun. Both are fine in their own right, I think. 2019. This is nice and shiny. And they remind me of Fabergé eggs. There are some pages like this, which are more of a what I consider a wallpaper page. And then there's these kind of pages. And then once in a while there's some, this is like a Humpty Dumpty page. So this is 2023. And this has got quite the shiny background. And used with the stencil and some acrylic paint. And then at the back she's got some bonus from her other books. So I'm not really into words, but this dress was pretty, so I did that. So yeah, so those are the pages I have done from Excellent Eggs Adult Coloring Book. I don't imagine anyone else has this book. If you do, that would be a huge surprise. And leave that in the comment below because that would be quite the shocker. These next two books I picked up at Barnes & Noble in the US. And you may have these books, but the cover may look different. So wait till you see the inside of the next two books to decide if you have it or not. This one is Coloring Beautiful Flowers. It is created by this here, which is Arcturus. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. But at the beginning you have a list of nameplates, which are all the different flowers that are in here and what they look like. So if you're looking for a specific flower, it's kind of easy to come in here, pop in here, find the flower, and then you see a picture of what it looks like. I have done just a few in here. So this is the picture on the left hand side of the actual image, and this is an aster, and this is a Chinese aster, it says. And I did this in 2019, and I used Prismacolor pencils and pan pastels for the background. I think that looked pretty good. Now the idea is to get them close to this, but more in, you know, I'm not going to get exactly the same, but it does kind of help me with shadows and lights and highlights and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going for more. This next one is a tiger lily. And I did this in 2019 with with polychromos and hero pencils. Trying to get my mouth to work today. So that's this one. It looks like pastel background as well. And then I've started this one and I gave up because I was using Color It colored pencils and gel pen. And Color It pencils were so bad that they're the only color pencil set that I've actually thrown into the garbage. So yeah, that's enough about that. But yeah, so there's tons and tons of pictures in here. I almost picked up the Layla Dooley flower book, but then I stopped because I'm like, I already have flower books. I just need to color in them. So until I have actually colored in the ones that I do have, I think I have enough. And that is really spoken to me by going through all these books. I've rediscovered some of the books that I may have not looked at for quite a while. So I think that this has been an exercise that's been worthwhile. So this next one is Coloring Fairies, and I have seen this book republished a few times because I have buddy colored in it with people that have the same pictures but a different book. So keep that in mind. Mine is again by Arcturus, and it has the colored image here, and this is a painting, and then they've kind of created the line art for a coloring page on this side, and I did this in May of 2022 with Prismas, and I do like it. I did change up a few of the colors, but I am really happy with how the page turned out. And then this one is July of 2023, and I've got some Winsor Newton iridescent medium I can tell on the wings there, on her wings. That's kind of pretty. So there's the girl there, and then here's my version. And then we have this one. It says Swim for Your Life, and I do like how I finished that one. And this is the one over here. So mine is brighter, but that kind of usually happens when I'm doing coloring. It doesn't, I don't get quite the muted colors at here. This would be good, this muted palette with the Harmonious pencils. I don't have that set, but that's kind of what it reminds me of, is those Harmonious pencils. So yeah, but I am happy with how my page turned out. And then this one I did for a Color With Us Coloring Roulette Challenge. So the colors do not match here at all, but that's okay. I was allowed just these colors, and yeah, I think that it did work. This is September 2023, so there is a video on me coloring this on the channel. And then this cute little snowdrop, this girl here. And again, mine is quite a bit brighter than the original. These look vintage, like they've been aged, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I just could not achieve that effect, but I like mine. And then this last one, pretty happy with this one. You know I love owls, so this one is called Moonlight Vigil. So here is the page where it is, and I did like their version. It was very, very nice, but here is my version, and I am happy with how that turned out as well. So yeah, so 45 pages of different scenes, and all to do with fairies in here. Beautiful pictures. The line art is pretty basic, so you do really need to look at here to get the shadows and how the picture actually looked, because when you create the line work from an image, the feeling of the picture is lost a little bit, I think. So if that makes sense. But yeah, so Coloring the Fairies, 40 delightful pictures with full coloring guide. Moving right along, this is the reverse coloring book by Kendra Norton. Now she has a couple out there. So this is, I believe, the #1 book, and I have done 2 pages in here. I did this March of 2024, and this was my first time using this book, and I did it on camera. So I did it in a video, which is a little bit nerve-wracking, but I did try and make it. It was March, so it was, I've got some 4-leaf clovers in there, obviously, but yeah, so I have a hummingbird, a bee, some butterflies, some flowers. So yeah, that was but how this works is it's a pre-colored page, and you go and draw what you see. So this one really tends to lean a lot towards flower images, and then you would just come with your pen or pencil and draw around what's already done, or you would find something else. So this one I did, I just saw it's kind of like daisies, and so I just drew around the daisies, and then you call it done. So it doesn't really hit my creativity. Like this one was stressful. It was hard to find things on here and draw them and do the video. So I'm not sure if it was because I was doing the video and this was my first one, but then when I did this one, it's almost too easy. So I just didn't feel like I left feeling very creative. So I haven't gone and done very many others. Like this looks like a tiger lily to me. These look like flowers. These look like autumn leaves. So yeah, so this looks like a crazy mess. So I don't know if my brain can think outside the box, which is what this might need. So it's nothing against Kendra Norton or the idea of a reverse coloring book, but I'm an accountant and I like things to kind of make sense and line up. So this might be a little bit hard for me. Let me know if you have this book, if you find it creative and enjoying, or if you find it hard to do. I'd be interested to know. Okay, this next book is Astrology Coloring by Anna Jaron. And in 2024, every month I did a gemstone, and I also did the astrology animal for the month. So I had 2 series going on last year. So I got quite a few done in this because this was a astrology book, and it was published, because I just got it last year, 2021, by Marabou Books. And it is illustrated by, like I said, Anna Jaron, and she is quite the illustrator. I'm very impressed with her drawings. So the first one, so it goes through and it tells you, so this is Aries the Ram, and it gives you some information, and then there's a coloring page here. Then this is Taurus the Bull, and this one actually, it's perforated, so you can take them out. So I actually did bring this one out so I could have it scanned, because my sister wanted a copy of it. So I really like how this Highland cow turned out, all in pencil. There might have been some watercolor here. And then we have Cancer the crab, and this has got some alcohol markers and some glaze pen and some colored pencil. And so all of these pages you're seeing here, there are color alongs for, and they are in the playlist for the zodiac animals. And here we have Leo the lion. And a lot of these I also did, like this one I did Harry Potter trivia in the video. So I do quite a bit of trivia games in my videos. So if you're interested in those kind of things, it gives you something to listen and participate in while I'm coloring. This one is a scorpion. I actually do like how all of these pages turned out. The paper is pretty decent. It's definitely not thin. It's definitely not Amazon printed. This one here is Capricorn, the sea goat. And I did this one actually as a buddy color with Happy Catastrophe, Candace over there. And she did hers as a night scene, and I did mine as a day scene. And yeah, so really pretty. I'd never seen a sea goat. I couldn't find a sea goat. And she actually, this is the reason I bought this book, is to find a sea goat. So yeah, very happy with how she turned out. And the last one is, last year was Year of the Dragon. So I actually did the Year of the Dragon. And this year is Year of the Snake. And so I guess I should probably go and do this page this year, but I have not done that yet. So if you have this book and would like to buddy color with me on this page, let me know down in the comments. So this is Astrology Coloring by Anna Jaron. Keeping along with the mystic animals, and this I also used for last year's, and this is Color Your Creature Companion by Stratton Peterson. And this one again has the animal's name here with some information on it, and then you have the animal over on this side. So again, I use this ram for April, for the ram, for the zodiac animal. And this is done all in color pencil. So this is a single-sided book if you don't mind getting this right up, all marked up. But typically I don't, so I did use mostly pencil in here. This is a hummingbird, and I did this in April of last year. Here's another snake. And then I did this in June 2024. This was seahorse, and there's quite a long video on this one because this one took me quite a while to do, but I really like how it turned out. I've got some different watercolors and Neocolor 2 in here, and some ink tints as well, some gel pen along the edges. Yeah, some glossy accents or something similar on the eyes. So yeah, I look at this page and I still really like it. And that's kind of always fun when you can look back at a page and still like it. All right, and then this is the last page that I finished, and this is it's just called The Fish over here, and it's koi fish. And yeah, I did it with Blick Studio pencils. I was away when I did this, so a Neocolor 2, some glaze pens, some Stardust. Yeah, and I did it March of last year. So very sparkly, and I love how it turned out. But yeah, this is a really fun book. Lots of different red panda. So if you're into animals and learning just a little bit more about them, I mean, not a lot, but you learn a little bit about them, it's kind of fun to see. And I like the size of them because the animal is not super small. You have some actual room to work on it, if you know what I mean, especially when you're doing fur and stuff. It's easier if it's actually bigger. So yeah, the heron. So that is Mystic Animals by Stratton Peterson. She does have other, or he or she, I'm not sure what they are, but they do have more books out. So all right, moving right along, we are on to Stephanie Law's Secret Worlds. This was given to me as a gift from my sister. She bought it in the States, and I must tell you, when I first got it, I hated the book. I loved it because it came from my sister, but I hated it because it has all these darn little hidden objects in it, and there's just, the line art is very thin, so it's very hard to even know what the heck is going on. And then they throw in little images and little items that don't belong there. So I was like, oh my goodness, how am I going to even color this? And then I saw some other people coloring it, and you just kind of do one thing and block out everything else, and then do the next. So I have been able to actually complete two pages in this book. So it's Secret Worlds, A Magical Color and Search Journey. I wish they wouldn't put the search journey in their part, but it is by Stephanie Law. And I did this page. And my spirit animal is the owl. It's also my provincial bird. So I really love owls. And what I did to tackle this page is I used acrylic paint and I blacked out everything I didn't want. Everything that didn't make sense to me. And then items that I was like, okay, fine, you know, we can leave that in. I left those in, but it was just very strange. So that's how I dealt with this page. And then I did one other page, and that's this one here. Again, owls. I believe that there are videos on both of these pages on the channel. This one, I love how the owls turned out. I love how the acorns turned out with little gold edges on the leaves, or the pine cones. Not acorns, pine cones. But again, I blacked it out with a black marker, and it was a paint marker, so it did not go through. It is single-sided though, so you know, you don't really need to worry about that. And then yeah, So I'm happy with the results of both pages, but oh my goodness, in order to tackle these, you really do need to just kind of focus on what you want on the page and deal with that. So I know some people really love her artwork, and I'm not dishing that at all. I find it very hard to focus on what is actually going on the page. So yeah, this is Secret Worlds. And if somebody wants to buddy color in that, I'll probably pass. This next one is a Coloring Heaven Timeless Beauty Special, and this is issue 44. This is my only full-sized Coloring Heaven book, and I got it because it was Momo Girl. And if I was ever going to do portraits, I would do them from that illustrator. I like how she does her eyes. I like how she does her face. I like that they're usually young girls or youngish girls, just the innocence of it. So I have done 3 pages in this book. The paper kind of reminds me of photocopier paper, so again, not great, but it does take color pencil. It probably takes markers as well, but I'm a color pencil person, so I did this one with Create a Color, Lyra Skin Tone, and Polychromos, and then some washi tape around it. And I actually really like how it turned out, and I even like how I did the hair, and I am not good at hair and not good at portraits, so I was really pleased with this one. And then this one here I did in May of 2022, and again I really like how it turned out. It was a different kind of color palette for me. I thought I would go with blue, silver, light colored hair, and yeah, so thinking a little bit out of the box for me anyways, and I was happy with how this turned out. And then this one here, I used some Fine Tech flesh colored paint and some rubbed on, it's probably not gelatos, it was probably like gel crayon at that point, and then colored pencil. But yeah, I used some paint on it, and it did warp the paper a little bit, but it has smoothed out mostly, and I do like how it turned out, and I gave her amethyst or purple colored eyes. And yeah, so I liked how that turned out. So I have not done any more in this book, but when I do get the hint or the kind of the thinking that I should try portraits again, I have this book to come back to. But I really do think that her illustrations are beautiful and very sweet. That is Timeless Beauties Special Issue number 44. So we go from Beauties to Exotic Chickens. I'll just tilt this so the ring light doesn't hit it. So this is Exotic Chickens Coloring for Everyone. I have an ongoing chicken joke going with my neighbor for about 27 years. Every year we give them something to do with chickens for Christmas, and they do the same for us. So they gave me a chicken coloring book. So at the beginning of this book, we talk about chickens, and then like some actual chickens, and then they give us the page number and what each chicken could be colored as. So again, it's all the different, some are wallpaper pages, some are just big chicken pages, all kinds of chickens, and they're all colored. So then you get to either do it how that's colored earlier, or you just go and do your own thing. So this is May 6th, 2017. So brand new coloring way back when. That's fun. And then this is 2016, so even earlier. So this I would have only been coloring a couple of months. And 2017. So this book here was published, I should tell you, in 2016. So this is a really old book. So 2017, isn't he handsome? And this I did this year. Pretty sure it was this year, or maybe just last year. But I finally got to use my chicken wire. It was an embellishment from Stamp It Up. And I finally got to use it. And I cut around him so it looks like he's inside his chicken pen. So, and I thought that was brilliant. And then I used alcohol markers for the chicken himself. So quite fun, quite fun. And then there's this one, and I used this for Sharpies, and I did, it was part of Coloropoly, the Coloring Down Under lady YouTube channel used to do, way back in 2022. So this is in July. And that's it. So again, we've got some pages with multiple chickens on it, and then pages just with a big old hen. And the whole book is just chickens, chickens, chickens. So yeah, I do have quite the collection and variety of books. Okay, this is a book that I know a few of you have. It is Nature's Sweet Moments, 50 Super Cute Designs to Color by Jane Madej. And I received this as a gift from Denise at Beautiful Colors. It was part of my Christmas gift exchange box. It is single-sided. It was created or published. Let me find that for you. 2021. My goodness, that took a while. Sorry. Okay. It gives you tools and shading and some guidelines at the beginning, just on basic coloring. It is sewn bound, so it is actually a quite well-made book. It does have decent paper. It's pretty thick, so you can use multiple mediums on it. I mean, of course, it's not made for watercolor, but none of our coloring books are, but you could probably get away with a little bit of it. So, or ink tents, that kind of thing. I did this page as a buddy color with my friend Sherry Denowitz, and we did this in June of 2024. So a while ago, but still brings back fond memories, as all my coloring buddies do. And it's got all kinds of nice, different nature related. It's a turtle here. It's got nice sized line art, like the line width is nice. So it's nice. I did this one. And this was a buddy color with my friend Cindy Visser. And that was in February 2025. So that's this year. And we both did our bird differently. So that was kind of fun. I think she did hers as a red cardinal. And I did mine as a blue jay. And then one other page. I did this as a buddy color for the owl. And I did it with Be Cozy for Owl Awareness back in August of 2024. So a year ago. And I do like how this one turned out. I've got a couple of different layers of different acrylic paint on there. Sponge, so the top sponge layer is gold, and so there's it reflects. And yeah, so, and of course it's an owl, and I love owls, so there you go. But it's gotten lots of different fun, big, nice pictures in here. A couple of them have words on them, which is okay. Not really my thing, but yeah, it's a great book, Nature's Sweet Moments, and I'm sure a few of you have that one. This next book I bought together, so I was going to let you see this one as well. So this is a graphic novel of The Art of War by this fellow here. I'm not going to pronounce his name. And it was a graphic novel illustrated by Pete Katz. When he did this, he also created a matching coloring book. So I picked up the graphic novel so that I could see the pictures and just kind of read it and get to know what this was all about. So in fact, there's one of the pictures I've colored. So sometimes I'll look it up. Sometimes I'll just go with my feeling of what I want the picture to look like. But I did buy these together. It is a really cool sewn binding and stuff. So I thought once I was done with it, I would pass it on to my adult son. So this is the coloring book, The Art of War, again by Pete Katz, and I've done 3 pages in here. This I did in November of 2023. And I believe that there is a video on this one. And then this is done with Brunzell Design Pencils in December of 2023. And it was awfully hard to do all these itty bitty men here, soldiers down below. So in this book there are like 5 essentials for victory. So part of the storyline goes along. It's all broken up into chapters. I should have started at the beginning. So it has a table of contents. So you've got part 1, making plans, part 2, waging war, part 3, strategic attacks, then tactical deployment and energy. So basically the art of war broken up, and it keeps going into different things. Then there's an introduction. It is sewn bound. It's a beautifully made book. And at the beginning of each chapter you'll have a colored image, and it'll tell you which part you're in. Then it's got some description of it, and then it's got, always on this side is the image to color. So basically, if you didn't care about writing over top of this, you could use alcohol markers in here. I haven't as of yet, but you could. I did this as a buddy color with Maureen Morley, and we did it in January of 2024. And I used Fine Tech paint up here and on the pink cherry blossoms, and then create color for the image, the rest of the image, including the background. That was a lot. Yeah. And the paper, it didn't really warp. It held up really well. It's a decent size, decent weighted paper. There's some beautiful pictures in here. So yeah. So I haven't done, like I said, I've only done I think I did 3 pages in here. So let me find those again. Okay, yes, I've done 3 pages. So there's this page, and this page. So yes. Okay, so that is the Art of War coloring book and graphic novel. And I got those from Book Outlet, and as far as I know, sometimes it does pop back up on there. In fact, it might be there now. This is the last book. It's a little bit larger, but we're just going to go for it. I picked this up from the States at Barnes & Noble. It is Birds of America coloring book, and it's an identifier guide. So it talks about the bird, and here's a total contents of all of the different birds in here. So there are a lot of them. It's got full colored pictures of them, and then it talks about each one individually. So this is the wood duck. There's a little image here, and then this is me recreating that image. So if you notice, the line art is very small and thin, so the Lango gel pens would probably work well on top of this. You could not, it's double-sided, so you could not use alcohol markers, but you could use, like I said, paint pens and pencils or water-based items. So I've started this page. I did the wood duck, and then I was finished with that. And then, of course, I had to do that Canada Goose because, you know, I'm from here. And this was for Coloropoly 2022, and I was supposed to do a bird. And I used Color It pencils, and I've got a little frowny face on here. So clearly I did not enjoy that, which is again why I would have thrown those pencils out. But this is the Canada Goose. And that's it. So there's all kinds of birds in here. Birds that you would find in the United States. A feral pigeon. But yeah, a cattle egret. So birds I'd never even heard of. And it's got some just beautiful pictures. And Coloring by Mama recently showed in a haul books from the Smithsonian Institute, and one of them was birds, and I was so tempted to go buy that. But I'm glad I didn't, because Jody, you already have a book on birds. Just go color those birds. So I have held myself back because, yes, I looked at my stash. I actually do have a birds book, even though that book looked excellent, and it was probably totally worth it. I need to use my own stash. And so I'm really glad that I've been able to do this series with you and share the books that I have, because it has really reminded me of the books that I own, because like I said, I've been doing this for quite a while now, and sometimes you only focus on the new and shiny things that we have. So thank you so much for joining with me today and spending some time with me. I do appreciate the time you spent. I hope you were coloring along while I was going through all these books and listening to me talk. I hope that if you saw any of the books in any of my collection series that you would like to join and buddy color with me, that you just reach out on either Instagram at jicolorist or my email at jicolorist@gmail.com. All right, today, thank you so much. I've enjoyed my time looking at these books. I hope you have as well. Until next time, I hope you have a creative and colorful day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.